You receive a piece of news that should shatter your world, or someone crosses a boundary that ought to make your blood boil. But instead of a rush of adrenaline or a wave of tears, you feel absolutely nothing. You sit perfectly still, watching the chaos of your own life unfold from behind a pane of thick, soundproof glass. You might even pride yourself on this reaction. You tell yourself that you have finally mastered your emotions, that you are simply unbothered, resilient, and at peace. But true tranquility feels light, expansive, and deeply connected to the present moment. What you are experiencing right now is heavy. It is a flat, hollow echo in your chest. You haven't transcended the pain. Your brain has simply severed your conscious connection to it. This profound emptiness is often mistaken for healing, but they are psychological opposites. You are not experiencing the quiet calm of the settled nervous system. You are experiencing the silent alarm of emotional numbness. When your psyche is subjected to chronic, overwhelming stress, or a sudden spike in affective pain that threatens to destabilize you entirely, it doesn't just ask you to cope. It initiates a highly advanced neurobiological lockdown. It pulls the emergency brake on your capacity to feel. You think you are keeping the pain out, that you have actually locked it inside with you, completely unacknowledged. And to maintain this artificial silence, your mind has to continuously run a hidden, exhausting program in the background, one that comes with a devastating side effect. Think of your nervous system like an electrical grid. When a massive surge of chronic stress, emotional burnout, or unendurable grief floods your system, your brain doesn't just sit back and absorb the shock. To prevent a catastrophic fire, it trips the breaker. In somatic psychology, this is tied to a dorsal vagal shutdown, a deeply biological survival state. When the emotional load becomes too dangerous for your conscious mind to process, your nervous system forces a drastic drop in physiological arousal. You aren't experiencing sudden tranquility, you are experiencing effective blunting. Your brain essentially hits a neurological mute button. It restricts the flow of emotional data between your limbic system, where feelings originate, and your prefrontal cortex, where you consciously register them. To protect you, your body might even release endogenous opioids, its natural painkillers, to sever the connection between your cognitive awareness and your physical sensations. This is why your chest no longer aches and your throat no longer tightens when you think about what hurt you. The internal alarm bells are still ringing frantically, but your brain has cut the wire to the speaker. You are left floating in a detached anesthetic fog, mistaking clinical dissociation for emotional mastery. It feels safe. It feels like you are finally untouchable. But this brilliant biological defense mechanism comes with a devastating catch. The brain's emotional mute button is a master switch, not a selective dial. You cannot exclusively numb the pain, the grief, or the anger. When you shut off the dark, you also shut down the light, and inevitably, you will notice a quiet, terrifying side effect creeping into the very core of your daily life. When your nervous system pulls the plug on overwhelming pain, it doesn't operate with a precision scalpel. It uses a sledgehammer. The suppression is a blanket policy. You don't get to selectively numb the grief, the fear, or the exhaustion, while somehow keeping the joy intact. This is why you might find yourself sitting in a room full of people you love, laughing at a joke, yet feeling absolutely nothing inside. Your mouth smiles, your vocal cords vibrate, but the emotional resonance is entirely missing. Clinically, this is the onset of anhedonia. By persistently downregulating your emotional responses to survive distress, your brain begins to blunt its own reward circuitry. The dopamine and endorphin pathways that used to light up when you heard your favorite song, tasted a warm meal, or felt the sun on your skin become painfully sluggish. It feels like watching your own life through a thick pane of frosted glass. The world hasn't actually lost its color, but your internal receiver has been disconnected. Your deepest passions suddenly feel like exhausting obligations. You aren't living, you are simply enduring a grayscale simulation, trapped in a psychological waiting room. But this colorless existence isn't just a passive, empty void. It takes a massive, continuous supply of biological energy to keep those heavy emotional doors bolted shut. And beneath the surface of that flatlining apathy, a dangerous pressure is building, one that is quietly leaving a profound psychological mark you might not realize is there until it is almost too late. When you cut the wires to your emotional dashboard, the engine doesn't stop running, you just lose the ability to read the warning lights. This prolonged state of suppression creates a hidden neurobiological debt known as allostatic load. You might think you have achieved total peace, but your nervous system is quietly keeping the score. The metabolic energy required for your brain to continuously inhibit distress signals is immense. This is why you often feel a bone-deep exhaustion that no amount of sleep can cure. It is the physical weight of unfulfilled grief. You might experience chronic tension in your jaw, unexplained somatic symptoms, or a hollow, persistent ache in your chest. The emotional distress hasn't vanished, it has simply been relocated to your tissues. Psychologically, this chronic avoidance breeds alexithymia, a literal blindness to your own internal state. You don't just stop feeling your emotions, you lose the vocabulary to understand who you are. You begin to observe your life from a clinical distance, rather than actually living it. This leaves a profound, unseen scar on your relationships. You offer the people you care about a perfectly calm, high-functioning ghost. You become entirely self-sufficient, yet deeply, painfully isolated inside your own protective armor. You avoid conflict beautifully, but you also bypass genuine intimacy entirely. The numbness was supposed to protect you from the fire, but instead it trapped the smoke inside your lungs. You have built a flawless fortress, but you are slowly starving within its walls. Eventually, the body can no longer sustain this profound level of disconnection. The defensive dam will inevitably crack. But how do you survive the flood once you finally decide to let the ice thaw? Thawing the numbness is terrifying, because when the brain's mute button is finally lifted, the pain you suppressed is usually the very first thing you hear. This is why you cannot rush emotional integration. If you shatter the ice all at once, your nervous system will flood panic and immediately trigger the freeze response all over again. Instead, somatic psychology relies on a concept called titration. Borrowed from chemistry, titration means introducing a single drop of a volatile substance into a solution at a time, allowing it to stabilize before adding the next. Emotionally, this means you do not force yourself to process a decade of buried grief in one sitting. You start small. You invite feeling back into your body by paying attention to micro-sensations. Notice the sudden, fleeting tightness in your throat when a certain memory surfaces. Feel the heavy, sinking drop in your stomach before a difficult conversation. Do not try to fix these sensations or analyze them. Just observe them. By sitting with these tiny physical shifts for even 5 seconds without dissociating, you are actively rewiring your neurobiology. You are proving to your nervous system that feeling an emotion is no longer a threat to your survival. Real tranquility is not a blank slate or a flat line. It is a deeply regulated nervous system that remains anchored even when massive waves of grief, anger, or joy roll through it. True emotional freedom doesn't mean you never hurt. It means you no longer have to abandon yourself to survive the hurting. If this helped you understand your internal world, subscribe for more. Take care of yourself.